Hi, I'm Troy Alexander from Child Support Game Over. There's a lot I want to teach you and bring you up to speed on that I've been having revelations about as far as the child support industry. But for you to understand this, there's some foundational things that I need to cover first. The last 6 or 7 videos that I made for the channel are extremely powerful, and if you have not watched them, I highly encourage you to go back and watch those videos. But what I want to explain to you today is about systems of law and legal systems. And these are two completely different things. There is law, which comes directly from our God in heaven, the God of the Bible, and there is the legal system, which comes from the enemies of God, as they wish to replace our God's laws with their God's laws. So a good definition of legal is the undoing of God's laws. Now, these laws are in 3 different jurisdictions. Juris, meaning law, and diction, such as dictionary, the words. The legalese is the jurisdiction, the words used according to those jurisdictions in law and the legal system. You have the jurisdiction of the land, the jurisdiction of the sea, and the jurisdiction of the air. Now, in Genesis, God gave man dominion over these 3 jurisdictions. The Vatican gave trusteeship of the jurisdiction of water to the monarchy of England and created the first corporation, the Crown. Next, the jurisdiction of the land, the trusteeship of the land, was given to the King of Spain, the monarchy of Spain, King Ferdinand. Ferdinand, being a Christian man, immediately turned it back over to man who it originally was given and to whom it belonged. This is your common law. The jurisdiction of the sea that England got is your admiralty law. The Vatican itself kept the jurisdiction of the air, or ecclesiastical canon law, which could also be trust law. Now, these are things you need to understand when dealing with the child support system, the different jurisdictions. Now, you might think jurisdiction is, well, the state of Wisconsin or the county of. No, those are venues. Jurisdiction, again, is the legalese, the language of the law or the legal system. So understand that the courts today that are in the counties are businesses. They're all corporations. The county's a corporation. The state's a corporation. Even Washington, D.C. is a corporation. And Congress can only make laws for that corporation. There's actually 2 Americas, you could say. There's 2 countries here. There is the United States of America, which is the original country, which America being God's kingdom. This was originally established to be a kingdom under God and under God's laws. After the Civil War, the corporate United States came in with their legal system to undo America's kingdom, to overthrow it, to usurp it. And they created their legal system to do so. So legal is the undoing of God's laws. Understand that. When you see legal father, it's to undo your rights as a father and make you a corporate father, actually a trustee father of their legal system. A legal marriage is different from holy matrimony. These are diametrically opposed. God has his blueprint for marriage, and the corporation has its blueprint for marriage. If you follow God's blueprint, you are wedded in holy matrimony. If you follow the corporation, United States blueprint, you have a legal marriage and get a legal marriage certificate. And this is where our problem starts, men. We have met the enemy, and it is us. We have been going against God's laws and embracing the legal codes, statutes, ordinances of the corporation, which are just corporate bylaws, and enslaving ourselves through our own ignorance. When you went to school, did they give you at the government education, the corporate government education center, any classes on law? Did they explain any of this? Did they explain differences between a father and a legal father? No, they want you ignorant. They want you to be as ignorant as babies so that they can make food out of you, so that they can enslave you with their legal system. This is key in freeing yourselves, that there are two kingdoms, that there are two United States, the United States of America, God's kingdom, and the corporate United States, that there are laws which come from God, that there are legal ordinances, codes, and statutes which are meant to enslave you. Code, statutes, rules, ordinances, they are not law, they are corporate bylaws. And there are different jurisdictions. The laws or the jurisdiction of the air, the jurisdiction of the land, and the jurisdiction of the sea. And these courts are captured. Admiralty courts. The pirates have come in and captured and are capturing and are attempting to keep capturing our country with their legal system under their pirate gold-fringed flag under Admiralty law. Now, I gave you all of this so you can understand the rest of what's happening. The court that you find yourself in when they bring you in to make you subject to their orders of child support come about because you have become the legal father. And the legal father is the position of trustee of the child, which was created by the state. There is a trust account created for your offspring, and that is where the child is created, and a birth certificate issued. And they create what's called the SESQV trust. SESQV trusts were invented back in 1666. Notice that's 666. In England. And it was for those lost at sea, those presumed dead and lost at sea, in case they came back, showed up alive, and could reclaim their estate. So when a son or daughter is born and you get a birth certificate, the corporation creates a SESQV trust. And they create bonds, and they use your offspring as collateral, this child, this newly created child, which is in trust form. And there's QSIP numbers created. You can look those up. Now, I'm telling you all this so you can understand. It's all about making the man the trustee. The trustee is the one who's paying the bills. The trustee is the one who's having to pay child support. You cannot be made trustee against your will. You must accept it. You either accept it by having a legal marriage and accept it by requesting from the state a birth certificate, or you are appointed the trustee when you adopt their child when you adopt their child, you are appointed the trustee by signing the VAP, or when you go in and do a genetic test and accept the results of their genetic test. At that point, you are made the trustee by your acquiescence, by your complying with everything in your tacit agreement. So, unless you are the legal father, the trustee of the child, you are not subject to child support. So as long as you don't get a legal marriage, if you get married in holy matrimony, as long as you don't ask the state, apply to the state, give up your offspring to the state for them to create a child, a straw baby, with you as the trustee or legal father, unless these things happen, you are not liable for child support. You can have 100 sons and 100 daughters and never be liable to their business system of having to pay child support. So that's the simple answer. It's a little more complicated. I'm trying to throw all of this out there at once, and that makes it very difficult. But I hope this helps you guys. Oh, one last thing. I told you all that to get to this point. The court that you are being brought into, that is making the child support order, the so-called court, what we call the Kabuki Theater. The reason it's able to be quasi-administrative or quasi-judicial is because you are in a trust court. You are in not an admiralty court. They'll bring you into the admiralty court to force you to comply with the orders of the trustee court. So that is why that was the big question. What kind of court is this? It's not a real court. Well, it's a trustee court. That's how they are just being able to, as the beneficiaries of the child, they are able to make those orders to the trustee. Wow, huh? So, hope this helps you guys. Go forth and conquer. I'm Troy Alexander for Child Support Game Over. Thanks for watching. And please subscribe. I'll be coming out with more content and more information.